Hey friends, Asher, welcome back to Gents. Hope you're well. You gotta make it through spring and summer without smelling like a pile of rotting fish heads. It's not good, nobody likes that, for the most part. And I got you covered. Today, a ton of fragrances that will last you through the beginning of spring, the end of summer, smelling amazing the entire way. Like this right here, L'Homme Ideal Cologne Forte by Guerlain, which is almost cursed. Not that the fragrance smells cursed, but limited edition. Yay. Limited editions basically exist for a couple of reasons. One, to farm money from a fragrance that sucks. Slap limited edition on there, everybody wants to scoop it up because it's limited. Second reason, to have a fragrance that's amazing that then gets discontinued and the prices skyrocket, which actually, I don't know, that doesn't sound like a great reason. But when it comes to limited editions, those are pretty much your choices. This one is the latter. This stuff smells amazing, and it is going to be difficult to find in the future. Just already getting difficult to find now at discounters. But this right here smells similar to some of the discontinued Guerlain L'Homme Ideal fragrances that came before it, like L'Homme Ideal Cologne, L'Homme Ideal Platine Privé. Classy, easy to wear, smooth, high-end, and something that flies under the radar compared to what most of your average bros out there are wearing. Which, to be fair, I think a lot of the average bros out there are just rocking the most wanted parfum in the middle of summer. Absolute psychopaths. You gotta respect it.
You're right, you're absolutely right.
Now you could also go with this right here. This is Arsh by French Avenue. Somewhat of a questionable name in English, but this smells similar to this. Not in a direct comparison way. This is technically a clone of L'Homme Ideal Platine Privé, but again, I just said Platine Privé shares similarities with this one. And with this being a Middle Eastern clone, it's easier on the wallet, and it's gonna give you, as I said, a very similar scent profile. So if you don't wanna pony up the money for this, especially in the future, you could get this instead. Prada Paradigm up next. This is typical Prada. It's clean, it's classy, it's mildly sweet, very easy to wear, of course a little bit green. And it's that type of fragrance that does fit in with just about everything that's coming out nowadays as far as just contemporary modern men's fragrances. Some floral nuances in here, but not heavy-handedly so. Prada Paradigm is that type of scent that you can wear daytime or evening, frankly, pretty much year-round, but spring and summer especially. Keeping it fresh and new, why Iced Cologne up next? This thing is a mint overload. You have to really enjoy that note in your fragrances in order to rock with this one, but as long as you enjoy mint, this stuff is a certified killer. It has that same fresh and sweet combination that the Y line is known for. It's a compliment puller, it's refreshing, it's brisk, it's icy because of that mint, and also that makes sense because it's named Iced Cologne. This stuff is great. The only drawback, and it's not really the fragrance's fault, is that it's new. And so that means if you're looking for a discounted price online, probably not gonna find much. At least not right now. As time goes on, of course, you will be able to. And also, if you're shopping at eBay, you will be able to find fakes of this fragrance pretty quickly as well. eBay is the land of the fake nowadays. It's pretty rough. I've seen some things, some terrible, terrible things. If you're shopping on eBay, make sure you know what you're looking at. Chili Pineapple up next. Everybody knows Chili Pineapple. Got a few notes here: birch, amber, apricot, and orange. This one is by Montagne Parfums. Of course, they make clone fragrances. So what could Chili Pineapple smell similar to? Well, it's a combination of two fragrances. The pineapple part, Aventus. The chili part, Pacific Chill. So basically take those two scents and just smash them together. That's what this is. Technically, I think it's Aventus Cologne instead of just normal Aventus, but whatever, it's close enough. It leans more into the Pacific Chill side of things off the top, so more of that citrus, that really attention-grabbing pop when you first spray it. Then as it dries down, you get more of the Aventus that comes out. Fantastic daytime fragrance, spring through summer. Chanel up next, this right here, Allure Homme Edition Blanche. That's how you say it if you're trying and failing to sound fancy. You could just say Allure Homme Edition Blanche. That probably would work too, I guess. So this right here, more of a hype beast within the fragrance community, but not as huge outside of that. When it comes to Chanel, for most of your average guys out there, they're looking at Bleu de Chanel, all the different versions of that, and maybe Allure Homme Sport and Eau Extreme. And this one is well known for its vanilla and lemon forward scent profile. So a lot of people compare it to the smell of something like a lemon meringue pie when you first spray it on. As it dries down, it has a lot of that typical Allure Homme Sport backbone to it. So it's gonna have a good dose of tonka alongside that vanilla and the lemon that carries over, sandalwood as well. Performance is so-so, not amazing, and it is a Chanel, which means it's gonna be on the upper end as far as designer prices go. And also, with it being a Chanel, you're not gonna find it at discounters very often. But outside of that, this stuff is amazing. One of the best smelling designers out there for spring, summer, and fall. Mykonos Reflection up next. This is an extrait de parfum, so very highly concentrated. The performance is great. The longevity, the projection, all of that is locked in. The atomizer sprays clouds. What does it smell similar to, though? You gotta let that dissipate. It has a ton of citrus off the top, a medley of different citrus notes going on. Grapefruit, bergamot, orange, all right off the rip. As it dries down, you have some musk that comes out. You also have amber woods, peach, some floral notes. It smells similar to Symphony by Louis Vuitton, only obviously at a much lower price point. And frankly, better performance as well. So if you want that fragrance style, but you want it on the low, you can scoop that one up. 1 Million Parfum, this is my favorite, yeah. I don't really like this a whole heck of a lot, frankly, but women have always loved this scent, and so I have to feature it. It actually smells similar to like sunscreen in a leather bag, which is actually what the inspiration for the fragrance was. Basically an open sunscreen container, sun lotion in a leather bag, leather handbag. So that's pretty much what it is. It's kind of locked into that scent profile. It has solar notes off the top, which is one of the things this is really well known for. You can also tell because of the solar burst behind the one on the bottle itself. And even though it's in the line 1 million, so you'd think everybody and their mother is wearing it, it's been out for a while. And at this point, when it comes to 1 million, most people are wearing 1 million Elixir, or it's still the original. So it's kind of like swung back the other way to being a little more unique again. Aristo by Arabiyat Prestige up next. This smells similar to Ingenious Ginger. And there are a number of dupes out there of that fragrance. This one is my favorite personally because I think it does the best job at capturing what that fragrance is. It's not quite as harsh as some of the other ones because some of the other dupes out there have more of a very biting ginger, which to be fair, if that's what you're after, those would work better for you. This one is smoother, a little bit sweeter, easier to wear, more appealing. And so I think if you're after that Goldfield and Banks, but you don't want to spend the cash, Aristo is absolutely perfect. Great daytime scent, spring through fall. Now with any of these fragrances, other than the Chanel and like the YSL right now, and the Guerlain possibly, so a few of them, if you're wanting the absolute best bang for your buck, you need to be shopping at discounters. And as luck would have it, this is crazy. I have a bunch of different codes that you can use for some of the biggest discounters out there to save even more cash. So FragFlex, 10% off anytime you shop there. You can use that code 52 million times, technically just once per order, but unlimited times outside that. Also have codes for JOMASHOP, for the perfume box, for Beauty House, and more. So anytime you shop at any of those stores, use those codes. The next fragrance I want to share with you, Gucci Guilty Love Edition. So this to me is in the overall style, the family of something like a YSL myself. Though if you spray it side by side with that fragrance, it's quite different. But it has a similar idea, which is being clean, being fresh, being classy, and having a focus on a floral aspect to the scent. So Prada Paradigm over here does that with geranium. This one, Gucci Guilty Love Edition, does it with orange blossom. It's a little bit thicker than YSL myself, a little bit more density to it, but that makes this fragrance perfectly suited for early spring all the way through the end of fall. I want to throw it back a little bit with Armaf Infinity, which smells similar to L'Homme, not Ideal Cologne, Forte, but L'Homme Ultime by YSL. Yeah, remember that? Remember when YSL used to make fragrances in the L'Homme line? It's been a while. It's been years, actually. They did just come out with a new La Nuit de L'Homme Eau de Parfum version this year, so maybe it's gonna change. But for the most part, they've just been concentrating on this, the Y line and the Myself line. But L'Homme Ultime was one of the best springtime fragrances that you could get, and then it got discontinued, which means the price went through the roof. Enter this. Smells really similar to that scent, but obviously much cheaper. Has a really nice balance of freshness, of ginger, and also rose as well. Gotta have some more green up here. I mean, I've got some. I've got this shade, I got that shade, but how about this one? This is Elixir Dimer. And with this, we got another mint overload. So I'm a fan. I really like mint in fragrances, but another warning as far as the mintiness of the fragrance. If you don't like that vibe, it's not for you. It smells similar to Torino 21. It's like an icy, fresh blast of air just smacks you in the face as soon as you spray this stuff on. There's also basil in there, there's citrus, rosemary, lavender, cedar, very similar to Torino 21. The quality is absolutely fantastic for the price. This stuff is like 45 bucks at JOMASHOP. And once again, the longevity, the projection is better here than in the JOMASHOP. So an absolutely killer steal of a deal. A killer steal of a deal. Everybody knows about Le Beau. Le Beau Le Parfum, Le Beau Paradise Garden, the original Le Beau. But this one, Flower Edition, always gets overlooked. And I admit, the name is maybe not the catchiest in the world. Flower Edition, crushed it. But as far as just the freshness of the Le Beau lineup, that probably is the freshest of them all. It has the note of kumquat, which you don't see all that often used in men's fragrances. Very tropical, sweet, fresh, uplifting. The only issue with this one, the performance is not amazing. The other Le Beau fragrances in general outperform that one, but if you're just looking for fresh, wearable, attention grabbing in the middle of summer, that is a great choice. Now we're on a roll with this kind of color scheme right here, so let's keep that going with Siada Regal. This is by Zimaya. If you don't know who Zimaya is, basically it's Afnan, and this smells similar to God of Fire. Big old blast of mango when you first spray this one on. Atomizer, not pressurized. Dang it, can't win them all. But of all the God of Fire alternatives out there, this may be the most overlooked one. You can find it most of the time about $30 or so. It does have a little bit more of a woody aspect as it dries down in comparison to some of the other ones that are more mango forward. So if you want one that's just like a huge blast of that and really focusing on that, you could get something like Mango Ice by Gulf Orchid. But this stuff overlooked, very well done, and will get you God of Fire on the cheap. French Avenue Pierce, part of their equestrian series, which, are they coming out with more of these eventually? They basically dropped some and then there hasn't been anything else since, but I'm assuming at some point they will put more out. This smells similar to a PDM, hence the design here. It's kind of similar to the cap on the PDM bottles, at least the shape. And if you're familiar with Parfum Sommelier, it's really obvious which one this is because of the color scheme and the name. Pierce smells similar to Perseus. This one is about $35 or so though, so it's like 10% the price or so as far as the retail goes. And if you're unfamiliar with how Perseus smells, it's similar to Terre d'Hermès, specifically something like Terre d'Hermès Eau Givre. A nice blend of modern, clean woods and zingy citrus. Victorioso Legend, which now goes by Victorioso Myth. This one is very cheap, around $20, sometimes even less, and it smells similar to Invictus Legend, which is why they had to change the name, I guess, to Myth. Victorioso Legend, Invictus Legend, a little too on the nose, I suppose. This one gives you that Invictus usability and versatility without quite as much of the bubblegum overload that some Invictus fragrances have. But to be fair, a lot of people love that, so who cares? Gisada Ambassador. This one is not quite as fresh as a lot of the other scents here, but it can still absolutely work, especially during the evening. And it's not that it's crazy sweet or anything like that, though it does have a little bit of sweetness to it. It's kind of like a mango tinged Dior Sauvage. That's an oversimplification, but it gets you in the wheelhouse of how it comes across. It does last forever. It projects really well. So like I said, if you're wearing it in the middle of summer and it's really hot, maybe I would hold off and wear it during the evening or take those sprays down. But outside that, you can wear that year round. Chrome! Eau de Parfum. Good old chrome, always easy to pull off, always cheap. Note breakdown on this is very boring. It's basically lavender, pine, and orange, but it smells similar to Acqua di Gio Profondo Lights, which is discontinued. The performance is so-so, so it's one of those ones where if you want it to project heavily, you gotta spray heavily. But outside of that, for the price point, you can get something that smells like a much more expensive scent that has great versatility and is office safe. This is also office safe, Light Blue Eau de Parfum, the new version of Light Blue, which I find to be really good. And also it grows on you the more you wear it. The original Light Blue, not always my favorite fragrance as far as like really popular fragrances go. Not one I ever gravitated towards in a huge way. I usually wore more Aqua de Jo than light blue. But they did do a new version, a reformulation of the original, and then they came out with this. And this is basically a slightly more grown up light blue, while at the same time being modernized for what that's worth. You have citrus notes in here, you've got aquatic notes, woody notes, has a nice sweetness when you first spray it on. Not too heavy-handed, but enough that it feels new. Just easy wearing, high compliment getting stuff. L'Aventure up next, L'Aventure Fraiche by Homme. Just kind of a confusing vibe here, but the fragrance works. So named Fraiche, obviously, and it's got the green bottle, so you're thinking, okay, it's gonna be a very, very green scent profile. But in actuality, this smells similar to Silver Mountain Water by Creed. So that does mean it technically has the note of tea. So I guess you could say it's green because of the tea. Once again, icy, a little bit metallic, fresh. Some people would say inky as well. Flies more under the radar. Homme used to get talked about a lot more often than nowadays. But if you get that on the cheap, it's a really well done dupe of Silver Mountain Water. You could also go with Club de Nuit Sillage if you prefer Armaf. Last but not least, L'Homme by Rochas. Really, really, really cheap to me. Smells a little similar to K by Dolce & Gabbana, but better, especially because it's cheaper. That doesn't hurt. Really nice zingy aromatic opening. Notes like blood orange and pineapple help you draw attention. Not a monster as far as performance goes, but it'll get you average blue fragrance longevity. And if you want a blue scent on the cheap, you could do a whole heck of a lot worse than this. There we go, guys. 21 different fragrances that'll get you from the beginning of spring through the end of summer, smelling amazing. You can take your choice from here because any of these are gonna work. I wanna thank you for hanging with me. Stay safe out there, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you guys.